Hey y'all, I'm back. So this is Brie Stockwell. I am the host of this podcast, Wild Women in Photography. And if you've been following for a while, then you know I haven't published an episode for a while. And I wanted to pop in here for a quick update and tell you why and what you can expect moving forward. So just so you know, this isn't a full episode. This is just a little check in. So let's talk about what happened. What I really love is I love being transparent, and I don't feel like I have anything to hide. So this pause wasn't planned at all. It just happened, and it feels kind of ironic because I coach myself and other people on living intentionally, about being thoughtful and conscious about how we spend our time and energy and making intentional decisions and all of those things. So last spring, my husband and I made kind of a big decision. We've lived in Austin, Texas for about 10 years, and all our kids are grown and out of the house. And we've actually been traveling for longer amounts of time, and we were like, let's sell the house. Like, let's let it go so that we can move on to other things. Like, we are really going to step into a more nomadic lifestyle, and not like full minimalist, but like the work to process emotionally, to clear out things, to pack up stuff, to release the house, to like have to keep the house like super, super clean so that people could come and look at the house. It's kind of been a lot. And there was something that had to give, and it was the podcast. I didn't know at the time, but I just like let it go. And I don't really believe in doing things that feel really forced. And the podcast started feeling forced. So that's one thing. Something else that was happening concurrently between all of those other, doing the house like emotional things and actual physical work too, was I have been very focused on my coaching business. I am a life coach for creative professionals, and I'm growing it. And that takes some thought, it takes some effort. I started a solo podcast because I wanted those words out into the world. And it's been super rewarding. But when we say yes to some things, we're also saying no to others. And I unintentionally said no to this podcast. The last thing that was happening all at the same time was my creative work. And I had been feeling kind of confused about what I wanted with photography, what I wanted with wild woman photography, my photography business, and what I wanted with this podcast. And things kind of felt a lot in flux. And of course they did. Like looking back, of course they did, because I was in flux. Like there were emotional things happening, there were like great things happening at the same time. We were traveling in the summer. I mean, was really a lot going on. But in the midst of it, I was feeling unsure about my creative work, about what my professional photography life looked like. Because of that, I didn't feel the need to have to like solve for that. I didn't feel the need to have to decide what that was. And I just let it be. And so after a couple of months and like feeling guilty that I wasn't putting an episode out there, I decided that it was okay and that I would be ready to republish at some point. So I want to tell you about my turning point, because I think in every great story, there's a turning point. So in early October, I attended the Horizons Photography Conference put on by Shanda Aiken and Martha Montiel. And it was fantastic. Like I went there as a participant. I wanted not just to like meet people and hear the talks, but have that time specifically for myself to focus on this question: what do I want now with the work? What do I want to be doing creatively? What do I want to be doing professionally? And really having the time and space to do that. And it started to happen because I was intentional about it, This is what I believe. And to be honest, to be fair, like things are still evolving, but I am more clear now about what I want. And this podcast is very much a part of that. So I realize that I feel a need to have a pause at at some point. So what you are currently listening to right now is season 2. I'm going to do this in seasons. So you're listening to season 2. It will be published bi-weekly through the end of May. And then I will take a pause June, July, and August so that there is a period of time where I don't need to think about the podcast, where I can take a break and do other things that I want to do. And then I will return with a season 3 in September. So that's how it's going to work now. So that's what you can expect moving forward. I feel like this format, this rhythm of seasons, is going to give me time for a creative reset, to not get burnt out on publishing a podcast because I don't make any money doing this. This is like a personal fun thing and I want time to for myself personally to be able to just, relax and come back fresh. Before I go, I'm going to share a little bit more about my own photography. 6 years ago, I feel like I made a wild decision to go from beginning nature photographer to hosting a solo exhibition all in 1 year. And I feel like that year changed everything for me. And it wasn't about the art, like the photography, it was about me, who I became in the process, what I learned, and how I grew. And since then, I've stayed immersed in the work, experimenting, refining, listening to my intuition. I really love listening to my intuition. And kind of what's funny is that lately, like maybe for the better part of this past year, I have been photographing only in 1-to-1 aspect ratio. And so I've just been letting myself roll with that. It stretched me and I love it a lot. So that's kind of where I'm at. So if you're watching for my work, I have some new collections coming out, so stay tuned for that this year. I feel like I'm having a creative refresh because last spring, summer, fall was a lot. So, for all you listening, I want to say this. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for supporting women in photography and sharing the podcast with your friends and with people who would be interested in listening. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you're here. Last, if you're wondering what's next or what's next for me professionally, I have a few things. I have 3 things I want to tell you about. One is I am now offering 1-to-1 mentoring sessions for photographers. This is for you to do whatever you need help with. Are you looking to expand your creative vision or refine it? Would you like to help editing, making your images in post to be what you imagine them to be in your mind? Do you have a collection or a project that you want second eyes on? All of those things and more. I will put a link to all of these things in the notes. Number two is my limited edition zine. It is the volume 1 of a series called Through My Eyes. This one is called Releasing Expectations. Not get rid of your expectations. This is my spicy take on expectations combined with my photography from White Sands National Park. And because I'm moving and I would love to have this in your hands and not mine, there is a moving special on my website right now. So you can get that at a great discount. And number 3, I am hosting free online workshops where I invite you into my virtual studio. It's called Inside the Studio for photo conversations and learning. And you can find all of that at wildwomanphotography.com. Okay. Thank you for being a huge part of the journey of this podcast and my personal journey. And I will see you in the next full episode, which comes out 1 week from today, which is a week from Friday. They'll be released on Fridays. So stay tuned for that one. You are going to love this one. All right, that's it. And I will see you next week. Bye.